Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited tonight to have Peter Malmsjö here from Italy. Now, he's originally from, is it Sweden, I believe? Sweden
Sweden.
originally, and then he moved
Yes.
to Italy some time ago. We'll talk about his whole life story in a minute. But he's been writing music for many years, and I stumbled across his music on Facebook and absolutely loved it. It's very sweet, it's very gentle, it's very restful and beautiful, and he's got a lot of it. So I'm glad to share it with you tonight. We're going to listen to a bunch of them in their entirety. They're fairly short, like maybe 4 minute long pieces, but they're quite fun, and I'm sure you'll get a big kick out of it. Peter, welcome and thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much for
So,
inviting
what's
me.
interesting about your background is that you were a an actor in Sweden, and in fact, I'll show some of the movies you were in. How did you get into
Uh-huh.
that? Tell us a little bit about how that happened.
Actually, it is because of my family, probably
Mm,
because my father is an actor,
hmm.
or was an actor, and my
Yeah.
mother, she was working in the film business. So, because she first was a classical ballet dancer, and then she became a producer and so on in film business.
So
And
she was a ballet
so,
dancer as well. I didn't realize that.
yes,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, through all these contacts, when there was something going on, they asked if I wanted to make an audition, and I made lots of auditions. And fortunately for me, some went well. Also,
Yeah.
that's why I was doing these movies.
Yeah. You
So
were
it's
in a
actually
number of movies, and also you were the star in one of the movies. What was the name of that movie?
that was it was called Peter's Baby.
Mm,
And that was very funny because it was this guy who happened to make love to a girl, and she became pregnant.
mm.
And since they were like 15 years old, now she took care with her family, and suddenly they were supposed to move to Stockholm because this was in a small little village somewhere in the countryside, and they were going to move to Stockholm, and she couldn't take care of it. So she said, "Here is the baby." And so she left the baby with me, and the story is about this guy who is suddenly a father, and 15, 16 years old is taking care of this kid.
Wow.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it was very fun. It was very nice.
By the way, speaking of 15 years old, when did you first start to act? Were you that young at that point, or where?
Yes, I mean, I was actually younger, and the first thing I did in the cinema was I was like 7.
Oh,
Then
wow.
I'd made another one, which is called Niklas and Figuren, which is I was also one of the main actors there, and I
Mm,
was like 9, and then I made some other small roles, and then 15 was the big one, this Peter's
mm.
Baby, and
Yeah.
then I did some other for television, the
Series, kind of a
and
series
then
kind of thing. Yeah.
yes, yeah, exactly.
Mm,
And 16, that's when I started to dance at
mm,
16, and then I left cinema because I wanted to travel. Actually,
mm.
I thought it was difficult to move around the world, if I mean, for the language.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I had the chance. I started to dance, and I had the chance to do West Side Story. And it's a pity I don't have the photo because I can imagine me like a Puerto Rican. I was actually doing a Puerto Rican,
Oh, no kidding.
with black curly hair. And
Wow. Wow.
yeah, yeah,
Now, were
that
you
was
at
quite,
that point? I'm sorry to interrupt you. At that point, were you still in Sweden? Where were
yeah,
you at
yeah,
that
yeah,
point?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
Mhm.
that was the time I was like I was finishing high school.
Mm,
And that was the first job I had as a dancer, singer.
mm.
And there I met lots of wonderful people, and they said, "Oh,
Yeah.
you should continue dancing. You should continue."
Mm,
And since as I said, I'd like to try. I would like to see the world, and I wanted to travel. So I took the chance, and I went down to Brussels to Maurice Béjart, and stayed there for 2 years.
mm-hmm.
And then from there, I went to Greece for 1 year,
Mm.
and then from Greece, I think it was actually, yeah, it was Italy. And then I came I had the chance to audition for the company in Florence, the
Hmm.
dance company in Florence,
Mm.
the theater, and they took me, and I was very lucky.
Mm.
And from there, I stopped there. I danced there for 10 years,
Oh, wow. Hmm.
and that's where I then started to, from working with my own body, I started to work with the body of others.
Hmm.
With massages and as a physiotherapist, and now as an osteopath.
Osteopath. And when did you start ballet? Because you were also a ballet dancer as well. True.
Yeah. I started when I was 16,
Ah, okay.
quite late, but it was. I mean, I remember I studied every day. I went to school at high
Mm.
school in the morning
Hmm.
until 4, and then from until 4 o'clock in the evening, and then from 6 to 8 every night I
Wow,
studied dance.
that is
Yeah,
dedication. Yeah.
yeah,
Now
yeah.
let's let's.
That is, I mean, if you want to become a dancer, that is, you have to do that.
Yeah.
It's so tough. It's
But you didn't just do
so,
ballet. You did theatrical dance and other dance as well. So you did a
yes,
whole. Yeah.
exactly. Yes,
Wow.
yes, yes. It was, I mean, in the school we did lots of things. It was like,
Now let's
and
talk
that gave
about
me the,
music. Let's talk about music now.
okay, sure.
Yeah. Tell me about. So obviously, your parents were into theater and what have you, but how did that affect you in terms of the musical environment when you were a kid? Did they play a lot of music in the
Well,
house? Or,
yes,
mm.
we were playing a lot of music, and since I had three elder sisters,
Ah.
and when I was like, I mean, Maria, who's not with us anymore, unfortunately,
Oh, I'm sorry.
she was
Yeah.
7 years older. So when I was like 6, 7, 8, I mean 7, she was listening to lots of music,
Yeah.
and she was also the one who was playing the piano,
Ah.
because in our home we had this beautiful piano, and she was playing it very well, and she was very diligent. She was
Mm.
often training, playing and rehearsing,
Yeah.
and the funny thing is we were singing a lot also. So we were basically in my mom's car. When we were four kids in my mom's car, we were always singing,
Mm.
and so that started it. And then in school we do have musical. You start to play the flute very
Mm.
early,
Hmm.
and then after 2, 3 years playing the flute, you could choose an instrument. And for me, it
Hmm.
was obvious that I chose piano,
Yeah.
because I had it at home, and I had my sister, and I listened to her. And
Mm.
I'm not very good in reading notes, and I never was. So,
Hmm.
I mean, it's better for me to listen and then slowly,
Yeah.
slowly.
So you have a
So,
good ear for melody, I believe, and that's probably from
yes,
also
yes,
playing the
that
flute.
that
I think that helps because it's got a melodic line, So
okay, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
right. And so I was like, yeah, struggling a little bit with when I mean, with the piano lessons.
Mm.
The teacher, she gave me things to do, and I never practiced, actually.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now I realize that that would have been nice, but when you're 10, 12, and you don't really like to practice, you really like to be out playing soccer or
Yeah.
hockey or
But
whatever
what's
that is.
interesting? I know some composers that literally don't know music at all. They don't know notes, they don't know chords, but they have an ear. Now, in your case, you
Yeah,
do know what you're doing because you talked to me about the fact that you like certain scales. Like to play in D minor, for example, A minor, or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know what you're doing to some extent, right?
Well, I'm not sure I can say that I know what I'm doing, but I
Mm.
mean, it's like I realize that, yes, if you play a C, I mean, the dominant, the subdominant, and all that stuff. A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying now, and in older days, to
Mm.
to catch up a little bit. I
Uh-huh.
try to practice, and I try to understand music theory. Even
Yeah.
if it's really difficult for me to do that.
Mm.
But I I don't think that is so important, actually.
Yeah. Tell me when you started to first um, compose your own material. How old were you at that point?
Um, well, I was not really composing. I was just fiddling around a bit. I would say I was improvising, and then, but probably at a certain point, when I was 12, 13 years old, then I actually quit playing the piano, and I went into sports and school and things like that. But at a certain point, at age of, well, it was a little bit, we were 15 maybe, I heard Keith Jarrett's The Cone concert. And oh yes, and I was just, wow, this is really something.
Yes,
and he was just practically improvising, right? So I said, I didn't say I wanted to become as good as he, because I think he's
amazing. By the way, I interviewed his brother Chris Jarrett is also an amazing musician, although he's more of a modern.
I didn't know.
I'll have to send you the interview for that. That guy is amazing. I used to go to Keith Jarrett concerts when he was in Boston many years ago, and the guy was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that was your inspiration. I love it. So what'd you do next?
That was my inspiration. And I said, well, wow. So then I just listened to him a bit, and started with these slow things, and it just came. And from there, since I then, as I told you, then I started to travel after 18, and when I was 20 when I left Sweden, and I didn't always have the opportunity or the possibility to play the piano, but the music always accompanied me. And at a certain point in Italy, though, I said, well, I feel I need to start to play again. So I rented a piano. And with Keith Jarrett in mind, I started just to jam and to improvise.
And then you were in a band at one point too, weren't you?
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Because the thing I actually had difficulties with when I studied piano when I was small, it was, every year, every end, you had to make a performance. And I just hated to go up there alone on stage and to play it really bothered me. And I said, well, maybe that also was one of the reasons why I quit, because I didn't like to perform, actually. And then, of course, I became a performer, not as a musician, but as a dancer. So that's, well, you know how life is. Yes, and it was so funny because I had this computer because I wanted to compose my songs. And I had this computer, and I was an Atari, this very small, very old thing. But it was so amazing. I played, and I could play different things, bass, guitar, everything. I could put it in.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And the thing is that I had friends in the theater, and it was this guy who was a drummer, and he was playing in this rock band. And I said, since you are a drummer, I'm not a drummer, and I had could you just listen to this music and see what would you suggest for the drummers to do?
Right.
And he liked it so much, he said, come and play with us. So we actually did for 2 years. This is, as I said, this is the I don't know, I will send it to you, but this is the disc that came out of all that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is that you on the cover, by the way? Is that your picture?
Yes.
Okay.
I will send it to you.
Yeah.
And so we continued a bit, but then work, and I had a child at that point.
Life happens, as they say.
Yes. Exactly. So I had to prioritize, and said, well, as a dancer, that's what makes me being able to buy a house and to look for my family, And so I said I have to put it down, but it was always there. The music, I could never stop.
I love it
because it just comes, that it just comes like that. And so I got a better computer and better stuff, and so I started to compose myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually working with a friend who was had a puppet show,
Really?
and I made some. Yes, I made some music for a couple of performances of his,
Oh, that's
and
wonderful.
uh,
Yeah.
and a woman who was doing she was releasing a book about money, and she had these meditations, and I
Mm.
made the music for these meditations, so it's a bit going on for a bit. But then it's, I mean, it goes up and down, always,
Yeah.
and at a certain point I decided to leave Tuscany
Mm-hmm.
where I lived, and I
Oh,
went up to the north of Italy, and there I didn't have the possibility to play. Actually, I just was playing for myself a little bit,
yeah. Yeah. Let's listen to How I Feel. Tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write that piece.
Well, it was actually since I am I had a relationship with this woman, and we have a child together,
Ah.
and it was just finished. I mean, really, it was over, and that's a very difficult moment.
Mm. Yeah.
And suddenly there I started to frequent a woman, and suddenly she inspired me, and that was like the kind of the moment when this shift from composing meditative music more and starting to to feel the melodies,
Mm.
and to just to let the melodies within me come out as much as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
And How I Feel is one of the songs I like the most, actually,
Mm-hmm.
because that expresses really the moment that it's like from depression. I don't know if that was really the thing, but I mean, you're sad, and
Mm-hmm.
suddenly there's a light somewhere, and
Mm.
that was how I feel. That was how I was feeling in that moment when after meeting this person.
Ah. Wow. What a great background for this piece. So let's listen to this. This is How I Feel.
That was from the not the same album as How I Feel, but the album afterwards, which is called
Okay.
Another Way.
What I love about this song is there's such a natural interplay between your hands that's just
Mm.
very organic. There's something about it that's very natural and organic,
Oh,
and the rhythm
thank you.
may flow
Mm.
a bit, but it's quite easy to listen to and wonderful. And even though you may not be a master of music theory per se, you know how to build and then play with the melody and then have a way to have it all resolve in a way that's quite
Mm. Mm.
fulfilling and satisfying to the listener. So
Wow, thank
whatever
you.
you're doing
Wow.
instinctively works. So that's great. That's really great. I wish we could play these all in their entirety, but I'd like to play all 12 of them in this hour. So I think what I'll do is I'll play little bits of some of the others. But
Okay,
I
sure, sure,
especially
sure,
wanted to play
sure.
through your favorite one here because I wanted to make sure we all had a chance to really enjoy it in its entirety. So the next one you have is called Wanting You. So let's talk
Oh
about
yeah, I like that too. Yes. And
yeah,
also it's always in a relationship, it's always like before it settles down, it's like yes, no, oh, I'm afraid. Will I get hurt again? And how,
mm,
will this work? All that stuff. So,
yeah,
but I think that wanting you is also a part of that, lying there alone and really desiring the other person, that the other
yeah.
person would be by your side, and it's
Hmm.
like, so it's a little bit about that wanting, that eager to.
Excellent. All right, so this is Wanting You. What I love about the way you play this is you have this underlying left hand, and then you superimpose all this wonderful melody, weaving in and out of the bass line. And that's not easy to do. It's not easy to play. I wonder, do you ever write any of these down for other people to play? Do you ever notate them?
No, there was this guy. Somebody actually asked me for the sheets music to
Yeah.
if they could have it, and I
Yes.
haven't done that yet. I
Well,
haven't done that
I
yet.
have a great idea for you. There's a group in England where you could just send your recording, and they will notate it
Yeah.
for you. And
Oh,
it only costs like $30 a minute. So if you had a 4 minute piece, it'd be $120. But then you'd have the sheet music, and
yeah, yeah,
they'll give it to you in Sibelius, and you can edit it any way you want. Because I found I usually have to fix a few things, but otherwise it saves
yeah,
me
yeah,
a lot of time.
yeah,
But I'm
yeah,
sure people
yeah.
would love to. People would love to learn how to play some of your pieces, you know. So
Oh,
if not all
nice.
of them, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah. So
yeah.
this next one is called Now I See.
And Now I See is also from Another Way. That's the same.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah.
same album. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, let's listen to this. I love that. So pretty. Really beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really nice.
Thank you.
Now,
Yeah.
this next one is called Last Waltz. Let's talk about that
Ah,
one. Did I get that right?
yes.
Well, yeah.
Last Waltz, and that's from the my second album.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and true. I mean, if I have been to be honest with you, I
Mm.
don't remember really. But the last Waltz, it was like there was this, because for me sometimes, very often these things come like when I improvise. Some
Yeah.
I have an idea, and
Mm-hmm.
then I try to put it into something that could be a piece.
Yeah.
And when you listen to this, it's like very. And as a friend of mine said, well, if you have to do that in a concert, what would you do? Well, I don't know. I mean, I would try to, but there are the central piece, which is this is a waltz, right? So the
Yeah.
central piece, and I just find I think actually started from there, and it was this this melody that was I really loved it, and I said, well,
Yeah.
I have to do something with this.
Yeah. You know, it's
So
interesting. First of all, it's very loaded with emotion. Last Waltz, it sounds like, is this the last time you're going to see this person, or is it because they passed away? I mean,
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
loaded with
exactly.
potential emotion. And I have a friend of mine that's also interviewed. His name is Joe Blanchard, that does music like that, improvise, and then he can kind of remember how to play it, but it's never played the same way twice. And there are some pieces he just
Yes,
won't remember
exactly.
eventually. And so he's got
Yeah.
4 albums of about 16 or 18 pieces apiece, and they're all gorgeous pieces. But if you asked him
Yeah.
how he did it, he wouldn't know. But it
Uh-huh.
just comes out naturally. And I think it's like a muse that comes through him, and probably in your case too. I've had that a few times
Yes.
where something's just come under my fingers and it just happens, and I'm not even
Yeah.
sure how. But I just now, do you sometimes play with the chord structure first and come up with an idea and then layer melody on top of it, or do you? It sounds like you more think of a melody and then build chords under it, or
Yes.
do it. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
That's normally how I do it. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, it's because when I play, I mean, sometimes there's the melody and the chords, and
Mm,
then it just as exactly as you said, it just comes.
yeah,
And sometimes it's like, wow, that sounds nice, and I don't know why it came that way, or it's
right.
like somebody was you know, above me somewhere,
It's a
indicating you
gift.
use this finger and put it there, you know.
I love it. Yeah.
But yes, yeah, I mean, normally I go with the melody first.
Mm. Hmm. Well,
Yeah,
let's listen to this last waltz. And when I say organic too, it's the rhythm flows really nicely. In my mind, it's like it's not
mm,
metronomic, which of course maybe would drive your piano teachers crazy, but I absolutely think it's a beautiful, um, a natural way to write music, and you
yeah.
can almost feel like the wind picking up, or I feel it's such an organic thing. It's wonderful. Now this
No,
next one's
because
called, yeah, good.
no, sorry, no, because it's so funny because when I start, I try to play with the metronome,
Mm,
and that really bothered me because I mean, I know. So
hmm.
everything I've written so far is actually without it. So
Like
it's just
rubato,
the
like a yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's only the tempo I've got inside.
Hmm. Hmm. Now this next one's called Traveler, a Traveler. Is this
Oh
about you
yeah,
or is this
that's
about someone else?
well, I had because this last year my life, I mean, my relationship has been a bit, you know, like a huge brow. Sometimes would go away and come back and then go away and come back. So it has been ups and downs,
Mm,
but the it's actually not about me, but it's about the person that is just, I mean, going away and then maybe
yeah,
coming back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is
So,
called.
and the funny thing here is that because everything I'm up till now, this is a piece that will come now on my new album that is going to be released now
Oh,
in December.
oh, excellent.
Yeah,
Do
and
you have a title for it yet by any chance?
the the CD.
Yeah, do you have a title for it? That
Yes, I
compilation?
will call
Yeah.
it Beyond.
Ah, okay. Excellent. So this is the
Yeah,
Traveler. I didn't
and
realize this is recent.
yeah,
This is great. And this is one of your
yes,
favorites.
it's very
Yeah.
recent. And the funny thing is that it's not all because up till now I've only done piano solo, right? And
Yes.
here I have started to mix other things in.
Ah, excellent.
So yes, it's a bit. new for me too.
Hey. That's wonderful. It's great that now you have at your fingertips effectively a whole orchestra of sound. Can I ask what
Mm.
platform are you using for this? What
In
software?
what sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm using Logic and all these things. Basically, I'm using sounds from Spitfire Audio, actually.
Oh, well, by the way, for people that don't look at this online, I will have Peter's links on it so you can track him down. But his last name is spelled Malmsjo. So if you're typing it in, look that up. I want to make sure people get that right. Excellent. Okay, now
Yeah.
this next one's called Lakeside. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Oh. Mm. Uh, this was. I think that this is from the album, actually number 6, and it is called 12 Paintings.
Hmm.
And it was like I had this idea, I saw these images,
Hmm.
and I wanted to put music to these images.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Lakeside for me was, I mean, I'm from Sweden, and I mean, here we have lakes,
Hmm.
but in Sweden the lakes are, I can imagine it's like, I mean, in North America, I mean in northern part of America, that is
Yeah.
like the lakes, you have all these big bergs and all these trees around, and
Hmm.
it's so that, I mean, that was the thing that inspired me.
That's inspiring. Great. Okay, so this is Lakeside. That's great.
Hmm.
Very nice.
Thank you.
It's also
Yes,
wonderful to
I mean,
hear the evoke the image and see, imagine the restfulness of that,
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like in the early in the morning, early in the morning, the
Mm.
sun is rising, and
Yeah.
no, it's
That's wonderful. Now this next one's called Journey.
journey. It's like we're always traveling, right?
Yeah. By the way, I want to
And
ask you,
it's
because
all,
you've traveled so much, you obviously know English well. You must know Italian. I assume the
oh
Swedes speak
yeah.
another language. How many languages do you know? Can you speak?
Well, yeah, yeah, Italian. I mean, Swedish, yes.
Hmm.
Even if in Sweden, when I go to Sweden, they laugh at me sometimes because
Why?
I invent words, you know, because they say, "Oh, you can't say like that in Swedish," or they say, "Oh, you're speaking an old Swedish from the 80s,"
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So they're making fun of me. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, yeah. I can make myself understood really. I mean, so Swedish, English, Italian,
Mm.
French,
Mm.
and a little bit German.
That's wonderful. I envy that. My wife and I are trying to learn Italian. We spent
Ah,
years,
oh,
and
that's
it's just,
great.
I think we still are like not even the kindergarten level yet. So it's just,
Oh, but doesn't matter. If you
yeah.
ever come to this side, you have to call me so we will meet.
Oh,
I
I would love
mean,
that. We've been to Italy a few times already, and actually, the last time we were there in October at the Amalfi Coast, and we learned the phrases
oh,
for how to ask for the menu, and we'd like to see
yes.
the bill, and
Yeah.
we'd like some water or things like that. But still, if they start to talk to us in conversational Italian, we're stumped. But at least we were able to get around. I just love the Italian
Yeah, yeah,
language.
yeah. It's a beautiful. And
Yeah.
Amalfi Coast is a beautiful place,
Oh
really.
my God.
Yeah.
Well, this is called Journey, and we'll listen
Yes.
to a little of this now. What I love about this piece, it almost sounds like it's a plucking of a guitar. I don't know if you did something to the sound of the piano, or are you using a different kind of electronic sound there, but it's got this wonderful kind of ring to it. Maybe it's just the reverb
Mm,
on it or something, but it really has this nice, almost like a plucked guitar kind of sound to it, which is
mm,
very
mm,
cool.
mm.
So, okay, now this next one's called On Your Way. And I don't know whether that means that,
Oh.
get out of here, or if you just, you gotta, it's like
No,
had multiple meanings.
yeah, and no, because it's always, I think the pieces that on a way or another, it's like, let's say at first when I started, I was like very much inspired about from nature and seeing things, and when I was out walking in the woods,
Yeah. Hmm.
but from a certain point, I started when all these things happened in my life, all these changes, the crisis, and I mean, crisis means change, right? So,
Yeah.
and all these changes, and so I started to try to listen to myself using the piano as a way of coping and transforming what I felt inside
Mm.
to outside. So on your way, I think it's like when you leave a person, or when there is a separation, you hope that
Mm.
the other person anyway is going to be well, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so you see that now you're on your way. So
Mm. Mm.
I hope
Okay.
everything is well.
This is On Your Way. You know, I love here. Not only did you take that little initial, almost a jazz-like thing, I can almost feel Keith Jarrett in the room when I uh,
Wow, 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 wow.
but then I love the fact that you changed into this new melodic line that was very like
Mhm.
clearly a part B that just
Yeah,
seems so. And I find that's a difficult thing sometimes because I do a little bit of composing myself is how to get that part B to sound like it makes sense, but yet it's different, and yet that seemed to just be such a natural flow. And I guess for you that just
mm.
comes naturally. You just kind of
Yeah,
come
it
up with the
does
next line
actually.
and it makes
Yeah,
sense, which is just wonderful.
yes,
Now this
yeah.
next one sounds very sweet. It's called Soft Caress. And I assume that's just, hugging someone that you
Yeah,
love.
Soft Caress comes from the first CD I made, and
Oh,
I
really?
think that, yeah, I think it's like 10 minutes or something like
Ah.
that. No,
Well, we
so
won't
it just
we won't
play.
play all of it, but we'll certainly play.
It's just a small part, right? Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that. Soft Caress.
yeah.
This is great. definitely feel the softness of that. Yeah,
Mm.
very nice.
Yeah, it's so fun because it's like, and I feel that this is very much inspired by Swedish folk music.
Hmm.
It was like I was just sitting there and trying to feel and remember. It's not that I was listening to, but I mean, I tried to let those roots come out a bit.
Yeah.
And it's the name of the CD is like Northern Moods, so
Ah.
it's I was playing on my being on me being Swedish.
Okay. Now this next one's very touching. It's Memories. You want to give us
Oh,
a little bit of background on that one?
uh, this is also from the 12 paintings, and
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel probably this was the memories. It's like when you are a little bit melancholic, but probably I am also a few lots of minor moods, in my music. So, but I think that I just felt that when I will be, it was a little bit sad, probably during that period also. So
Hmm.
I saw myself sitting alone,
Hmm.
old and wrinkled, and just trying to remember nice parts of my
Hmm.
life.
Okay. Memories. I'm obviously cutting all this short, but it'd be wonderful for people to listen to them in their entirety to hear you develop them, and how they
Mm-hmm.
grow over time. But
Yeah.
but I would rather give people a taste of all these different things today. And like the next one is called On the Sea, which obviously sounds like another wonderful imagery
Oh,
being on the
oh,
sea.
yeah, yeah. You
Is
have
there a
that
story
too.
behind
Okay,
how that
okay.
happened, or yeah?
Well, no, no, no. Well, not really, because I think when I was in Sweden 2 years ago, I went around and I saw this. Unfortunately, I don't have I should have thought of that, but I have a picture of a lake,
Ah,
and it's like it's so it was so beautiful. It was like the sky was like a canvas. It was like a painting.
yeah,
And then it was, and then was I thought this lake and the lake, it was a little bit because it was after a hurricane or something. I mean, not a hurricane, but really bad weather, and was
yeah,
the sun just came out a bit, but the sea was still, you know, troubled.
yeah, yeah.
So so I think that is actually what this is about. The sea
Mm.
that is like a troubled sea, kind of
Ah, okay.
emotions inside, moving.
Mm-hmm. You can really feel the swelling of the waves the way you have, it's
Yeah,
great.
I can.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's
yeah,
nice. I'm
yeah,
glad you're saying that because that's exactly how I felt it, how I
yeah,
feel it. So
yeah. I could,
I'm glad that that comes
yeah, very
that you
nice.
feel that too.
Now, this last
Yes.
piece is aptly called "At Last," so I think that's a great way to,
Uh, yeah.
yeah. So, what's happening at last? Is it at
Well,
last
I
you've
I go
arrived, or that kind of thing, or yeah,
use or yes, I mean, it's like when it's a journey, sometimes you just realize that things are like this.
mm,
And so
mm-hmm,
when you finally realize, you said, okay, at last I have understood.
mm-hmm,
It's like when you say, now I see, now I finally see, and at
mm,
last I just, okay, is this
yeah,
how it is going to be? Well, okay,
there it is. Okay,
yeah.
at last. I am so glad I met you, Peter. This has been a wonderful hour, and I've had a lot of fun pre-interviewing with you and planning things out. And I'm just so happy to share this music with the world. I think it's very exciting and glad that we had time
Oh,
to do that. So,
I'm very happy that you actually invited me. It's a great thing.
yeah,
Great thing. I'm so well overwhelmed and
Oh, well,
thankful.
thank you for, and then you're in Italy, so obviously this is 6 hours ahead of me. So, we're going to broadcast this at 7:30 at night Eastern Central Time. You'll be hopefully in bed
Uh,
by that time, so we won't we won't have any Q&A. But I'm going to
uh,
have this, of course, promoted on Spotify, and all, when that
mm,
date comes out, and it'll be on acomposerscorner.com, and
yeah,
also be
yeah.
on YouTube. And I'm sure you can use it any way you want to for your, a
Okay, great.
wonderful
Yes,
review of your
yes,
life
yes,
journey.
yes,
So
yes.
you've proved that you can have a career doing all these things and also compose beautiful music at the same time. And you're like a Renaissance man doing a lot of different things at once, and somehow you manage to make it all work, which is pretty exciting actually. So
Oh,
thank you for setting a good example for us all who are out there
oh,
trying
thank
to,
you very much. Thank you
yeah,
very
try to
much.
deal
It's
with
been a
things.
really pleasure.
Excellent. Well, you have a great night, and thank you so much again. And look forward to
Yes,
hearing more of your music as it comes out. This album's coming out in
yes,
December. Looking forward to hearing it.
yes, yes.
Thank you,
Okay.
Peter. Have a great
Thank you
night.
very much. Bye.
Okay.
Then at a certain point, I met this guy, Fausto, who is a music engineer.
Hmm.
And he said, well, I was asking him because I wanted my piano from the piano I had in Sweden. I made it come down to Tuscany.
Oh,
And at
really?
a
Yeah.
certain point, yes, at a certain point, I brought it up from Tuscany to me, and I asked him, "Do you have?" Because I mean, he is a professional, so he had his musical studio. And I said, "Do you have your? Can I put it at your place somewhere?"
Mm.
And he just said, "Yes, if I can tune it as I want, 432, and that stuff." And
So
I said,
432 hertz instead of 440, which is the
"For
normal.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly."
And is
And
that because there's two reasons for that probably. One is some people think it's for health reasons. Maybe
yeah,
another thought is it's from historically it was tuned at that level. So is that why he was doing that or?
well, I actually don't know because he
Mm.
was not. Uh, if you look at it historically, I mean, it was everything from 429 to 560 hertz.
Oh, really? Oh. Mm.
Yes, it depends. And what I read about when I read about it, it's like they didn't have what you call it the
Tuning fork
um,
or
yes, the tuning
yeah,
fork. They didn't
yeah.
have the tuning fork then. So, and he also said, well, everybody had their own ear, right?
Ah.
So, I mean, but as you said, it's like 432. It was
Mm.
somebody says they used it in Egypt or but
Mm.
who knows really.
Yeah.
But I read some studies about 432, and it seems that it has a calming effect on the blood pressure, on the respiration, that you actually can sleep better,
Mm.
and that helps
Yeah.
managing anxiety and stress.
Hmm.
So that was for me, since as you said, I'm actually working as an osteopath, and that is what I'm actually also trying to do with my job. So
Mm.
combining my job with this kind of music, it
Yeah.
can get a broader result, maybe,
Love it.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but he said it's not really 432. It's because it could be 429 and so on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he says it has to do with because what we're using now is the equal temperament, right? Between
Yes.
every
Yes.
half note, there is like 100 cents.
Right.
And as they said, you do it so you can play in all the keys in a
Yeah.
group without sounding strange.
Well, so is he still tuning your piano in the well-tempered format, or is he tuning it
Oh
somewhere else?
yes, I'm doing that. Yeah.
Yeah,
As an
yeah, yeah.
equal temperament, I'm using
Yep.
that.
Yes. Yeah.
But as you know, in nature, it's just what they call it the just intonation. And I think that Fausto, I think he's using that. He says that is actually more important than the wavelength, actually.
Mm.
So, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the matter of fact is that we said that let's play it in 432, and I went to his studio and he said play something for me, and I started to improvise.
Mm.
And he said, well, nice. Let's do a CD. So,
That's how it happened.
and yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's how
Yeah.
it started, because we were thinking about using it as more as calming and meditative
Hmm.
music, right?
Yeah. Now, I believe,
But
is
then,
it Halidown Records? You have a record company behind you too, don't you?
yes. And
Yeah. How did that
well,
happen?
because Fausto has this, he has his own label,
Yeah.
but we are using Halidon, yes.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, let's listen to your
Yeah, and
first
that
one,
is
which is,
where I'm very
yeah.
lucky. I must say, I'm very lucky to have them, because
Mm.
they're doing a lot for me.
Yeah, because you're all over the place. I think you're in
Yeah,
Spotify and
I'm so
Facebook and
amazed. I mean, that
YouTube.
is
Yeah.
like blowing my mind. I
Yeah.
mean, I see that people from Kuala Lumpur is listening to my music, and Turkey and Mexico, and I mean the States. Yeah,
I love
but
it. I love it.
everywhere in Africa also. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. Yes.
Thank you,
Okay.
Peter. Have a great
Thank you
night.
very much.
Okay.
Bye.